Okay, it's reflection time. I can't believe that 3 months ago is when I first entered the hospital and got my Whipples operation done. And I really want to take you through just what's happened over these last few months to help inspire you, to help show you the journey and to share some lessons as well. But I really just want to take you through what the last 3 months look like. Now, this is massive, so I'm going to break it up into 3 parts. So this first part is all about March, when I first got the operation done, and I'm gonna call it the stage of the death part of my life. So if you go through death all the way to rebirth or being reborn, March was really that stage of, I would call it the death part, and the death of the tumors in my body and helping me rebirth into this new life. So I'm just going to share some vlog style content, some Instagram stories that I had posted, and yeah, some content that I created with some voiceover, including some journal entries through that time in March. And at the end, I want to come back and share some lessons. First, I just want to take you through, I guess, the lead up to my operation. So leading up, I had my parents drive up to Sydney because I'm originally from Victoria, and we just spent the weekend together. I did some things that I wanted to tick off my Sydney to-do list, including the Blue Mountains. So we explored the Blue Mountains just before the operation, literally like 2 days before. And it was just a really nice time to get organized mentally. I think that was the biggest part, was just get mentally prepared for what I was about to endure. Okay, backpack ready to go. I'm feeling fine. Just want to get it done to go in at 10:30. So yeah, I'll try and film little bits and pieces while I'm in. I've given Mum and Leanne a list of people to contact, and I'm doing a vlog bit video. So yeah, feeling fine. I'm just trying to, the weather's shit. I kind of hope the weather's a bit shit for the next few days. But yeah, I'm feeling good, feeling positive, and I'll keep you posted. Goodbye house for 2 weeks. Hopefully my bed's comfortable. Day 1, March 2, the day of the operation. Got there at 10:30 a.m, sat around, went in around 12ish, and good night. I woke up in the most horrific pain and remember the nurse Joe. When Mum and Dad came, I told them I didn't want anyone to come and see me. I was hurting. Then the drugs kicked in, and it was the happiest and most grateful I have ever been. I remember being so excited I couldn't sleep. Ketamine was my bestie. The nurse that I had overnight was a Dutch woman, and all of the nurses that I had were just truly amazing. Day 2, March 3. I was so happy and full of life. My new nurse, Michelle, was my new bestie. She braided my hair as we talked absolute trash. I was graduated to ICU within that day, and Alyssa, my best friend, and Leanne, my soul sister, could see me in my ward 8 South, bed 11. As the doctor said, I started to go downhill a little bit, which was always meant to happen as the drugs were starting to have a bit of a different impact on me. But I got to see my bestie and I was so happy. Day 3, March 4, and they were right. It all went downhill from there. The tube in my nose was legit driving me crazy, and I felt sick
all the time. All I wanted was an icy bowl. The social worker came to see me and asked about chemo. I don't know if that was an option for me, but it did start to worry me. Mum and Dad would come for the afternoon visiting hours every day. Leanne and Alyssa would be there at 4 p.m. I was receiving so much love and support. It was incredible. And to get in that chair was extremely difficult, and I really, really hated it. Now I just want to go through some milestones. So on the Friday, which was day 4, my lung collapsed, but I met this amazing nurse, Di, who talked about the significance and the beauty of the Blue Mountains, which I felt was just so incredible because I'd just been there before my surgery. She actually, on that Monday, brought me in a book about the Blue Mountains, which was signed with well wishes from some people that she had been with over the weekend for this exact book signing event. It's just truly incredible.
Guys, I think I'm back. I had the nose tube out today. And look at this. That, my friends, is an icy ball. You know, you really learn to be so grateful for the small things. And my absolute gratitude is to be able to eat an icy ball. Actually makes me want to cry.
Another milestone come on the 11th of March when I started walking and could walk on my own. And of course I was still hooked up to a lot of machines, but I was sitting up in the chair, I was getting out of bed a lot easier. So that was a really big milestone, and you don't realize how hard it is to do these things when they're taken away from you.
Day gets better and better. For those who remembered when I had to starve myself after my first procedure, I despised these two things. Now,
I was still getting fed through my neck tube, but I could eat some more food, which was amazing because I'd lost a bit of weight. Some days definitely felt like one step forward, 2 steps back. And although this is a really nice view of Sydney from the top lounge, it was on this day, just after I got my neck tube out, that I had to get a CT scan, which meant they found fluid, and that fluid meant I had to get another drainage tube, which meant more time in hospital. I wasn't happy. I hated the fluid. It was so bad. I still hate it.
Thank you everyone for your love and messages, especially today. I was just like, I was so adamant that I was going home this week, but apparently the fluid that sits in my, I think the top part of my stomach is causing back pain, which is very strange, but like I got a heat pack on my shoulders because it's really painful. But today was really hard because I need a new drainage tube, so that's just another thing put in my body. I got the last thing taken out today, and now new things coming. But I'm still hoping I'll be out for my birthday, but it doesn't look likely. So I did have a bit of a mental breakdown today, but I'm feeling better now. But excitingly, I have started getting back into some work, and this is the first time I've showed up on stories, so like talking, so that's a big win. But yeah, I've started mapping out some work, and we'll start taking on my clients again soon in the next few days. And I'm gonna wash my hair tomorrow because look at it. Looks great, doesn't it? It's a mess. But because I got this out, I can properly wash it, so there's a lot going on there. Looks like gorgeous.
I'm going to do a whole video on spending my 27th birthday in hospital, but I did in fact spend my 27th birthday in hospital, and that was on March 22nd.
But it is what it is. Looks like my 27th birthday will be spent in here, which it's not such a bad thing. But what I have been doing, thank you everyone for the amazing birthday love. I had a really nice day, but the afternoon took a bit of a turn, but I think I was just so excited and overwhelmed. So I wasn't feeling the best in the afternoon, but it was worth it. So it was worth feeling a bit crappy to be able to have a really nice lunch, to go out, to put a bra on. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you because it was a really nice day. And I think even though it wasn't in the best circumstances, it was a really special birthday. Thank you. My body didn't like that post this morning. It's been my friend. I am unwell now. It's good while it lasted.
My other bestie joined me and come and visited me, and I got gate release, so I was able to escape the hospital from the days post the 22nd of March.
So today was a treat. I got my eyebrows waxed and my toes painted. Look at the beautiful sky out there. So I'm allowed 2 to 3 hours a day out of the hospital, which is amazing. But I come to this really horrible realization today, which I know I can get through, but every time I leave the hospital, I feel like I'm going to vomit. And nothing has changed in my diet, my medication, and it's only been since I've left for the day. And I've sort of worked out that it's a form of anxiety, and my symptom is needing to vomit, because for me, this hospital is my safety blanket, and I've been in here for quite a while, so when I'm leaving, I'm scared. And of course, I haven't been diagnosed, but I just feel in myself, whether it's actual anxiety or I'm not sure what it is, but it's scary because I've been in here for a certain amount of time that leaving, and even my surgeon said it's very common to get a level of anxiety when you leave the hospital, which can come up in symptoms. And I just
I can't even describe to you how much I feel for people that go through this all the time, because even something as simple as me going to get my nails done, I had to sit in the car for like 20 to 30 minutes, deep breathing and saying to myself, I'm safe, I'm okay, before I could even get out, because I thought I was going to be sick. It's terrifying. But anyway, I did get through it. I used a lot of affirmations and had amazing support with Mum, Dad, Leanne and Amelia there. But I feel like it just makes you really grateful for all the little things that you used to do. And I know I will get through it. I'll just keep doing these little trips outside the hospital, because I think they're really going to help me for when I do leave. I think just being in a bed and knowing I'm close to a bed, or being able to lay down, or if I am going to be sick, being in like the comfort of my own personal space will help. But yeah, it's just a big wake-up call for me, I think, because I've never experienced anything like this. And I really do feel for those that experience this all the time. It's awful. But I'm putting in some plans so I can try and get through it as quickly as possible. I have exciting news, and thank you to Amelia who did my hair today. I washed it and she did this fishtail braids, which is nice. So when I first was in ICU in the morning, the nurse said to me, do you need chemo? I don't know much about what you had, but I'm assuming because you have cancer that you potentially need some form of chemo. And I was like, no one said anything to me, so I don't really know. And then I asked the doctor, do I need chemo? Anyway, so he said, yeah, we have to test the cells, we might not know for 2 weeks. And I was like, I didn't even know that this was potentially going to be a thing. Like, I just didn't know. So I was like, okay, just can't think about it now, just get through this recovery period. And anyway, it took longer than 2 weeks, but yesterday I found out that I do not need chemo. So excited and so blessed and lucky and thankful, because it's just really tough. And I'll need to get scans every in 3 months, and then 6 months, and then 12 months for the next few years at least, because the tumours were really close to the lymph nodes, which of course if they get into there, it just goes into your nervous system and does it. Yeah, it's awful. So I just need to keep that intact and under control, and make sure that I get the scans and make sure everything's good. But it was just the biggest relief. I still don't know when I'm getting out. My drainage tube has only drained half of the fluid in the last week, or 60%. So I don't know if I need a bigger tube, or I don't know what's going to happen. But I had an ultrasound today, and that's sort of what come back from that.
On March 27, I said goodbye to Amelia as she headed back to Melbourne, and it was on that day and the day after that we saw dolphins where Mum and Dad were staying in Malabar. And it was in those moments that I knew that I would be leaving that week. I just knew when I saw those dolphins that I would be leaving. And this was during a period where I was allowed to exit the hospital for a few hours, just to help with my mental health and to get out of the hospital.
Hello, back again in my cute jammies. Shout out to Mum for making sure they are clean because I only have a limited amount of clothes here, so she's doing a great job. But today I sort of said to my doctor that I need an exit strategy because, as Kim would say, and Kath and Kim, I'm dying in this townhouse. But in all seriousness, mentally I am struggling now. It will be 4 weeks tomorrow since I had my operation, and I just need answers. I need some form of exit strategy. So amazingly, the doctors are working on something for me. Things keeping me sane include working, doing work for the clients that I have, which is incredible. And then of course being able to leave for a couple of hours a day. Seeing those dolphins was amazing, but I think for me, I'm just trying so hard to be positive, see all the silver linings, know that everything happens for a reason, and it'll be a journey that I will learn from, and all of those things. But there are days where I don't want to think about that. I don't want to believe that. I know that's totally normal. So anyway, I think for my own mental health, I need to have more of a goal of leaving the hospital, because I just feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel right now. So fingers crossed, tomorrow morning the doctors come with some more answers for me. Okay gang, I've got news. We're going home today. Yay! So exciting! But I have to come back every day to get my drainage bag emptied. But that will mean I become Nurse Mariah, and I have to pump this saline into my drainage tube 4 times a day. So I've just been practicing with the nurse has been showing me what to do. So yes, I'm just waiting on my medication and my discharge, and I am out of here. But yes, of course the drainage tube will stay in for another 2 weeks, which is not amazing because I haven't. Yeah, so the drainage bag is not nice. I have to carry it around with me everywhere. I've also got another one here which is like stuck to my skin. So hopefully I need like a drainage bag pouch. Oh, so gross. But anyway, it will be in for at least another 2 weeks at least. But it means I can start getting back into some form of normality, which is great. Okay, now I'm out. I feel like I need to do something with my hair, what I wear. Mum said, I can wash your hair, we can wash your hair tonight, and I can dry it and straighten it for you so you can feel all nice and fresh. I was like, what do you mean? I look fresh. But in all seriousness, I feel like now I need to wear proper clothes and become a human again, which is great. I'm very excited for it. Yep, I'm gonna do some work in a minute, and I've got a very nice view. I'm currently staying in Malabar with my parents, and we're going to Coogee tomorrow because they booked an Airbnb in Coogee. So I'm gonna stay with them. But anyway, so they got a place right by the water, and they're right by the water now too. And I'm very lucky. And then I'll head back to my place in 2 weeks, week and a half, I think, week and a half. And then I see the surgeon
on the 12th of April. I keep thinking it's like February. I've missed the whole of March. And he will determine whether the drainage comes out, which, fingers crossed, I really don't want to carry around this bag any longer, but it is what it is. We have to do it. So yeah, I just need to get some energy back. I'm on 0 medication. I have come out of the hospital with no medication to take, which I generally think my body is so excited for, and normal-ish diet. So we're excited.
This was my first meal post-hospital, which was stir fry, and I just want you guys to know how that night ended. It was horrific. I was left without any pain relief, so that night was one of the worst I'd ever had, pain-wise. And I was going back to hospital in the home throughout the whole of April, which I'll talk about in the next episode, in part 2 of part of the rebirth.
It was just crazy to reflect on that, and insane how far that I have come in this 3 months. But I wanted to share, I guess, some lessons that I learned during March. So the first one was to surrender. Surrender to the fact I was getting out of hospital. Surrender to the fact that I wasn't going to be able to do as much work as I would have liked, to be able to do all the things that I would normally do. The second one is cry whenever you need to cry. Just let it all out. Just being able to just express emotion was really hard at the start, because I wanted to be really strong and I wanted to show that I'd done all the work and that I could beat this in a really amicable way, but that didn't mean that what I did wasn't amicable. So crying wasn't about being weak, it was about expressing and letting out my emotions, and most of the time I felt better after I'd had a cry. So I learned that the hard way, of course, because I was bottling up a lot for a little bit. And this whole process of death, and the death of that chapter of my life and that part of my life, going out a lot, pushing myself, just doing too much. It was the death of this, but with that comes rebirth. And allowing that was really hard. Allowing this rebirth to come, this hindsight to come, took a long time. And I think it's all about just letting it come, and that going back to that surrendering. I just had to surrender and let it come and not force it. So that was a massive lesson. It took a long time. So now I am a lot better at surrendering and knowing hindsight will come, but not forcing it. Of course, asking lots of questions was something that I needed to learn the hard way, because when I didn't ask questions, I didn't know what was going on. I felt in the dark. All I had to do was ask questions. Good medical staff makes a world of difference, and I had the most amazing nurses and doctors and surgeons. I think nurses are one of the most incredible humans in the world. And the last 2 lessons are to connect with those around you, and to really call on their support when you need it and ask for help. And even if it's just a chat, when you do document the process and share it online or share it with your friends and family, it opens people up to chat to you, connect with you, because they don't know that you might need that. They might be leaving you to heal. So definitely connect with those that you need to. And the last one to remember is there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, and it's just about riding those good waves, riding those bad waves, and knowing it'll always pass. So that was March for me. I'm going to connect next week and talk all about April, which was more about the rebirthing post-operation. So I can't wait to share that with you.